I have tried quite a number of businesses. I started by the first job that I got after my senior six, I went desperate. After finishing my examinations, I went back desperate. I went to the village, so I was just relaxed and desperately staying there. And from there, I told myself, now people are doing some other things that actually I don't like. Because people were just vendors on the roadside, they are working with the network companies. I also started, maybe, though I don't like this job, let me try. Because my reputation at school was a little bit greater at being student leaders about for all of my elementary school at just being a leader. And people know me a lot, and I was just like a little bit ashamed to do this kind of work. But what would I do? Let me do it. I'm not doing it for everybody, but I'm doing it for the sake of my people and for myself. So I decided to join one of the network company. Unfortunately, it has disappeared. Africell Uganda. I went there. I started working. People would find me, oh, DT leader. DT means the assistant team leader. DT leader, how are you? I say, I'm okay. I at times feel like I should hide myself. But I had no hope. I had no choice but to accept the same. I worked there, but the work was not really having money. You have to rush for people. You have to get customers to come and buy your item. At times even they abuse you. They don't like the product, even where we're giving it for free. But still people don't like it. I cannot understand why. And unfortunately, I don't know. I think it was fortunate that the corona pandemic broke up, and then we were stopped from work. I also went back home. I was staying there. I started some other things like I got some small money that I saved. I have very good saving culture. Even if I am earning little or nothing, I can still save that nothing. I'm telling you the truth. I can still save that nothing. So I saved some money, and on that pandemic, I bought some chicken. I kept buying them plus some goats because you can buy the goat that has not yet delivered. They can sell for you a very cheap price. I kept buying them, realizing I was having about 50 chicken. So I sold them off. I came to Kampala, and the first job that I got here is to work as security guard. I got the job, and the payment were not so proper, and I was still having the fear that if I am not going to school, I may not be responsible. I may not be who I actually want to be. So I decided to go because I didn't pass very well in my senior six. The first time I decided to join again, I reseated. I went back to school. I was using 150,000 every month to actually pay my school fees at the new school here in Kampala. The fees was a little bit high for my standard. It may be very small for you, but for me it was very big one. It was 750,000, and then I couldn't actually afford this one once. What I did was just I took my same to the head teacher. I told her, I'm just working as a security guard. I cannot afford to pay this one once. If you can only help me, and I keep paying it on monthly basis. She really loved the idea, and then she accepted. I started. So I finished school, and still I was not seeing hopes in myself because after finishing senior six and ending up being a security guard, to me it was like embarrassment, and I never know that it was the one of the best decisions that I took, because I took the same, and the same still it never lasted for long, because at times when I come back from school with my friends, I could branch to the workplace. They would ask me, why are you going there every day? I say, my brother works there, and I only go together with him. I'm going to wait for him. So they even didn't know that I'm working security as a security guard. And I didn't tell you, not because they will do, not because I don't want to tell them, because maybe at that time I was not strong enough. They would start to embarrass me even at school. I may lose whatever my contact with them. So I just try to avoid it as much as possible. And after finishing the school, I decided, now this type of terrible moments that I'm going through, I cannot even afford to go to university. I kept working. So before it was time to join to university, I actually started to sell some clothes, second hand clothes. This is one of the business that people don't actually like. I just decided to do it because I had no any other hope. My capital cannot start for me a better business. I started there with one of my friends. This boy is the kind one. He actually worked so well. with the substantial capital that I was raising from security, the business was a little bit tough. You may be putting money there every month and then you're realizing that the money is even going lower. So you cannot know why until we finished the 2 years that we started to realize some money. And then for me to get some hope, I decided to buy for me a motorcycle. I bought for myself a motorcycle and I started to gain hopes. So why am I telling you this story? Yours may be worse than where I started. And I know people who even have worse conditions, and the only thing that they have decided to do is just to give up in life. What they need is just some food for today, and then that is enough. That is not enough for your life. That one is not enough for your life. You deserve life better. Even people, they end up cursing. God has done it. God has cursed me. God does not bless me. There is nothing like that. Everybody has the blessing. We all have the blessings. So what happens in your life is do you believe that God has blessed you? If you don't believe that the blessing that God has given everybody, you also have the share, you will not get that share. You also fight hard and then make sure that you get that share. So from selling the clothes, I came up with the idea. I said, hey, this also selling this clothes is actually one of the terrible businesses that I could do because I'm not in control. I cannot control anything. I am staying in Kampala, my capital city, but the boy working for me stays somewhere very far. I cannot supervise him every month. Even I can go up to 5 months to check on him. I only communicate on him. What if this boy just decides to leave me and then disappears to go and do his own business because it doesn't require a lot of skills? So what would I do? I say, now this one is very terrible. Maybe let me use my mind and then I think of something else. But God gave me that strong heart. I started to reason. I said, hey, let me start now a business that actually many people cannot enter in. I started a poultry farm. It looks something very simple unless you want to do it in a small scale. But in larger scale, it requires a lot of capital. Some amount of capital, let me say, because of the feeding. If you want to do it in commercial base, you must build a proper house. You must bring them a little bit many in number. The humble beginnings are there, but they take long. And where I was at that moment, I was already having some money. So about 5 million Ugandan shillings, so I started working with it. I brought my first batch of chicken, 500 birds. I brought them and then they started laying a little bit early, actually at exact time. So from there, I kept getting hopes. Those birds, they kept laying until I even planned, like right now, I have already expanded it. I have already brought more 800 birds. And these 800 birds, let me tell you one thing. These birds, by the time they grow, they start to lay. If I am to calculate the amount of money that I may get out of it, it may be more than the salary that doctors are earning. So this is something that a hopeless person like me, somebody who didn't get proper education, and somebody who came from a poorest background, I kept telling my friends and most of the boys that I stay with, it is all about the belief. Believe it. Even if there's nothing, just go for it. It is still possible. And if you are watching me right now, my name is David. I really love to develop, and I'm here to change the legacy because it had been terrible. My fallen fathers, they never got it right. Actually, they didn't get anything to support us. And right now, also, my father cannot support all of us. And my followers, my siblings are there. And I need to take care of them. So if I am just like this, I cannot manage. And you, if your conditions are worse than what I've told you, please try to follow me around. And then let us keep moving on. Let us see if miracle cannot happen in our lives. So it is possible. Make sure that you subscribe to this video and then you click on the notification bell so that you don't miss any other upload. We rise by lifting others.